Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Call of Duty Fanatics, your favorite Call of Duty YouTube channel, where we cover everything Call of Duty, of course. Call of Duty, so I like to repeat this as much as possible. Anyways, today we have one interesting topic to cover, and we are mostly going to talk about the cipher codes that have been found after the Season 4 came to Call of Duty Warzone. So basically we are speaking about bunkers number 1, 3 and 10, where Easter egg hunters and gamers found a lot of clues and a lot of potential riddles to be solved in order to probably, we assume, launch the gigantic nuclear missile that's been hidden in a bunker 10. Now this cipher, this riddle that I'm talking about is huge, and you will see in a couple of moments we will go through each of these riddles. I just want to say that everything that I'm going to say, show to you, is actually a compilation of everything that's been found. It's not my work. I wasn't working on this too much because, to be quite honest, I don't have a clue how we are going to solve these riddles and mysteries. But anyways, we just hope that with the further updates we will get more hints what needs to be done. Anyways, well, let's now get to the topic of this video, which is the cipher codes and the riddles itself. One of the riddles that's been found scattered all around bunker number 1, 3 and 10 is called foursquare cipher, and you can actually see these riddles on the screen. The foursquare cipher is a manual symmetric encryption technique. It was invented by the French cryptographer Félix Delastel. The technique encrypts pair of letters and thus falls into a category of cipher known as polygraphic substitution cipher. This adds significant strength to the encryption when compared with monographic substitution cipher, which operate on single characters. The use of digraphs makes the foursquare technique less susceptible to frequency analysis attacks, as the analysis must be done on 676 possible digraphs rather than just 26 for monographic substitution. The frequency analysis of digraphs is possible, but considerably more difficult, and it generally requires a much larger ciphertext in order to be useful. So this is the foursquare cipher that's being found in the bunkers 1, 3 and 10, so scattered everywhere. And as you can see on the bottom left corner, we also got the keywords, which is Trident and Zephyr. Now, when we put all the letters and everything inside these boxes, we still need to get the 24 letter code. That's probably going to be translated later on into the numbers. The community of Easter egg hunters are working hard to resolve this riddle, but so far nothing makes perfect sense. So we are kind of stuck on this one as well. The next one that's coming to your screen very shortly is some kind of chemical structure riddle. Now we see there is a total 24 chemicals, and it's written on these papers that here is the list of compounds requested. Use the hill system and disregard subscript integers. Now I wasn't even digging into this one because it looks so complicated, and honestly I was so bad with chemistry in the school that when I just saw it, I simply said, no, this is not for me at all. So regardless of me being very bad at chemistry during my school times, it's never too late to learn something new, and this is a perfect occasion that we learn something more about Mr. Edwin A. Hill, who actually devised a system of writing a chemical formula that is used for a large number of compounds today. The Hill system states carbon atoms are listed first, hydrogen atoms next, and then the number of all other elements in alphabetical order. There are numerous exceptions to this system, such as the order of elements in ionic compounds as well as the order in oxides, acids, and hydroxides. So we can see here a lot of 24 actually compounds like magnesium hydroxide, beryllium nitrate, etc., which basically we have to apply to this Hill system formulas in order for us to get the combination of 24 numbers and letters, which will be translated later to numbers. Community so far made some progress, but nothing makes sense so far, so we are still missing important pieces to resolve this. Next one in line would be a Nixie tube experiment cipher riddle. And in particular, we are interested in Russian I and 12A Nixie tubes. But in order to understand what is all about, we have to say a couple of words about Nixie tube, or cold cathode display, which is an electronic device used for displaying numerals or other information using glow discharge. The glass tube contains a wire mesh anode and multiple cathodes shaped like numerals or other symbols. Applying power to one cathode surrounds it with an orange glow discharge. The tube is filled with a gas at low pressure, usually mostly neon, and often a little mercury or argon in a penning mixture. Although it resembles a vacuum tube in appearance, its operation does not depend on thermionic emission of electrons from a heated cathode. It is therefore called a cold cathode tube, and is a variant of the neon lamp that we all know. So when I think about this, probably we will going to get some kind of numbers in all of those old-fashioned Soviet-style computers who are probably using Nixie tubes for displaying numbers and letters. So we need to keep an eye on those rooms where we have a lot of gadgets and a lot of old-fashioned machines and old-fashioned computers, especially in those type of control rooms. In this picture you can see like two posters which are basically those Nixie tubes with the numbers, but if you can see poster 1 and 2, they perfectly match, so numbers that are missing in poster 1 are on poster 2 and vice versa, which makes this mystery. I think this is the first mystery that's going to be solved, because there are so many clues about this already and community is making a very good progress on it. The next one in line would be some kind of a, I would say, mathematical riddle or a cipher. The only problem with this one, I find this most difficult one because there is no connection to real life, but there is also a very interesting sentence at the beginning of this riddle which says input broadcast values left to right and top to bottom. Input broadcast values. Now we need to keep an eye definitely on the radios that are scattered all around Verdansk. If you remember, for example, prison, and if you go to offices and the control room, you will find a lot of radio devices which will probably emit some kind of or transmit some kind of signals or codes or whatever that we need to put into this riddle in order to get some solution. We also have this military type communication as a part of this riddle. On one of the cards it's written Bravo Foxtrot Alpha, which basically we know, everybody knows what this means, but we simply don't know where to look for and what this means in regards of the Verdansk map. But the last card, 5 out of 5, is interesting as well. So Delta Echo Charlie Golf, and then beneath we have a phone number which starts +1 831, which is a calling code for Santa Monica in California. Now the only thing I hope is that developers are not intending to lure us into the trap that we ring some kind of a phone in California in order to get the codes in order to launch the nuclear missile from Bunker 10. I think if they do this, this would be a disaster of an epic proportions, because I'm not going to ring any numbers in Santa Monica. Last but not least is called Venona CIPHER. Now, this one is also very interesting because it connects to the real life events that used to be occurring during the Cold War period. The Venona project was a United States counterintelligence program initiated during World War II by the United States Army's Signal Intelligence Service, which ran from February 1st, 1943 until October 1st, 1980. It was intended to decrypt messages transmitted by the intelligence agencies of the Soviet Union, like NKVD, the KGB and the GRU. Initiated when the Soviet Union was an ally of the US, the program continued during the Cold War, when it was considered an enemy. During the 37-year duration of the Venona project, the Signal Intelligence Service decrypted and translated approximately 3,000 messages. The signal's intelligence yield included discovery of the Cambridge 5 espionage ring in the United Kingdom and Soviet espionage of the Manhattan Project in the United States. Now, this part is very interesting. The espionage was undertaken to support the Soviet atomic bomb project. The Venona project remained secret for more than 15 years after it concluded. Some of the decoded Soviet messages were not declassified and published by the United States until 1995. As you can see now in our Venona over here, it's very important that we have a book of words, so words that are associated to numbers, and the community actually done very well in putting already first words into the riddle. And if you remember, if you manage to walk into the bunker 11, at the first wall when you go down the stairs at the bunker entrance, you will see resume cover. You will see a message on the wall, probably written in blood, which said resume cover, await further instructions. Now those words fits perfectly into this riddle and gets to us a first set of words that we need to put in order to get a bigger code, and then those words needs to be translated numbers in order that we get 24 combination of letters and numbers to get one big code, probably for launching the rocket in bunker number 10. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is basically everything from riddles that's being found in bunker number 3, 1 and 10. The only thing that I have currently problem with is I'm only afraid that developers of this game are only hinting to something that's going to be happening in some future Call of Duty games. Now, if that's going to be the case, it's going to be a disaster, because people are so much into this, people already digged too much, and I would be very disappointed if they are just only hinting some future Call of Duty projects. I'm also saying this because I'm a little bit skeptical that community would be even able to solve the riddles that are big like this. Now, this is massive riddle. It's a one cipher code that basically you need experts in order to resolve this. Even if you have enough of the proofs, enough of the leads, enough of the hints, you will still need people who are basically professionals in these things. So I'm a little bit skeptical that this will actually be the thing in order for us to have something in the game to launch a rocket, or maybe do something in an upcoming live event that's going to happen in Warzone. But on the other hand, nothing is impossible, especially when it comes to Call of Duty. They have a history of Easter egg and absolutely unbelievable codes that so far each of them are cracked. So there is no mystery, there's not cracked in Call of Duty games. Some of the mysteries were cracked quite easily, some of the mysteries community needed ages to resolve, but at the end of the story, like, community managed to crack the codes with the phones to open Bunker 11. I'm certainly 100% sure that community will be able to resolve this riddles as well. So anyways, before we conclude today's video, I would like to thank you for your patience and for your attention. And if you have something to add, or if you maybe discovered something that I haven't mentioned, please leave your comments in a comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for future great Call of Duty content. I will catch you all later and wish you all the best. Bye bye.